Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC. Welcome back to another live episode. Check out the 2024 Blueprint, which is an event that I'm doing tomorrow. The Eventbrite link is in my Instagram bio. If you can't find it for whatever reason, hit me up. It's going to be in person and streamed, right? But let's get into today's talk. Why the holidays are miserable for most people. I did another one, why 2024 is going to be the worst year for most people. That one blew up, right, compared to my other videos. But I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about some things because this is important. This is very important. And I'm going to give you a lot of information and stories and references that are going to help you. I don't know how long this one's going to be, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, I don't know. But for most people, even though on the surface they won't admit it, the holidays are some of the most miserable times. How do we know this? Look at the statistics. Mental health is at its lowest during the holidays. Suicide rates through the roof. Customer debt, social obligations, all this stuff, right? I shot a podcast earlier too, which is another podcast and video that I'm going to release on this subject, but giving you a different angle on this very thing. But check, right? Right now, especially November, December, all the references get thrown into people. Be with your family, do this, spread holiday cheer. There's all this stuff that's thrown in their face all the time. The specific message that gets just burned into people's heads all the time, right? So what this does is, let's say I'm the average person right now listening to that, and things aren't good. I'm in financial ruin. I'm fighting with my spouse, having issues with my kids, right? Let's say I'm dealing with a regular drama, and this other message hits me that is the exact opposite of what I'm currently facing in my reality. It further makes it clear to me that my life sucks if I'm that person. So this message being blown into people's face when their reality doesn't reflect what that message is, and they're hearing it all the time, the music, right? The messages, the marketing, it makes them mad. Or if they already are maybe just doing okay or not that good and they're kind of plugging along, that messaging will make them look and say, wait, my situation sucks. And it'll spiral them down, kind of like a negative, depressive type of like vibe, thought process, and kind of it creates the state for them to start going down the wrong path mentally more than anything, right? Now, when that starts to happen, people want to, again, on the surface, show that everything is okay, but they start to compensate in different ways. Putting out a fake persona online, pretending like they're okay with all the people around them, so on and so forth, right? And this is one of many reasons the holidays are the most miserable time for people. Now, imagine that person going out, right? Let's say they're not doing good and everybody around them is doing that fake, oh, hey, happy holidays, right? It clashes with them. And they might on the surface be like, oh, yeah, happy holidays, but that's killing them on the inside. Because at other times of the year, you don't see this. So everybody can be in their own quiet misery. But during the holidays, especially, they see pictures and advertising of families, other friends going to family outings and all this stuff. If they recently lost their parents, well, they're going to be upset and probably cry about it. And what I'm getting at here is if that average person isn't invested in personal development, self-awareness, personal growth, detachment from all these crazy things, right now is one of the toughest times of the year for them. It really is. It really is. And how they compensate that can be very destructive for a human being, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? On every front. On every front. So what I'm asking people is to take a step back here and objectively look at this thing. If you want to participate in the holidays, man, it's your life. Do what you want. I don't. But if you want to, great. You enjoy it, great. If you genuinely do. And most people don't genuinely do anything. We know that, right? Because how many times you need to hear about behind closed doors, you find out this one person, man or woman, doesn't matter, is acting differently compared to what they portray to the public. Yep. So we know this innately. We know this innately. So with that said, whatever you participate in, if it's the holidays, good for you, man. If you really enjoy it, you embody it, and everything you do is genuinely from the bottom of your heart, fantastic, man. Then you're in alignment with how you should live. But if it's not, you have to start questioning it, because those are the seeds and areas that cause suffering in your life. Because whenever a human being is doing something that they really don't want to do, they will suffer. They will be unfulfilled. They'll lack motivation. They'll be upset. They'll be sad. They'll be angry. And there'll be some sort of surface manifestation because of that disharmony within them. Okay? It's different. Like when I became an entrepreneur, I had to do a bunch of shit that I didn't want to do. But that's by choice. Meaning I want to attain something that's on the other side of these things that I don't want to do. So I have to do them to acquire it. But when we talk social obligations and a lot of these things and things that come up during the holiday season, it's different. People don't want to engage in it. How many people right now are buying fucking Christmas cards and presents for people that they don't really give a shit about, but they do it purely out of social obligation? That's going to make them suffer, not only like emotionally, but also financially. Right now is the biggest, spike and epidemic of consumer debt is during the holidays. And people put themselves in financial ruin because of social obligations. Oh, you didn't send me a card. Oh, you didn't get me a gift. It's like, dude, if me not getting you a gift spared me my financial stability and you get mad, what's going on? It gets a little crazy. It gets a little crazy, doesn't it? So you have to consistently, as a human being, learn to be able to view things and be able to step out objectively from the moment and say, what is this? The holidays, whatever it is, maybe a situation you're going through, hardships. Step out of you in the emotion and view it objectively and say, okay, what is this? And when I go back into the moment and how I'm living and experiencing this, is this the right way to go about it to achieve my purpose and live the life that I want to live? Insert your name. For me, BC, Brian. Am I going down the path that I want to go down? Am I responding and living as I would, as I want, as I desire? And if I don't, then get rid of it. Whether that be people, situations, where you live, it doesn't matter. Something has to be done. Because then if not, you literally are living a life not by design, a life that you don't want to live. And that causes perpetual, infinite suffering. Right? Think about somebody who gets a job to then one day be able to get their career. Well, they'll temporarily do that job with a lot of motivation because like, man, the harder I work here, I can stack my chips and it's a stepping stone to get to the next level. But if they stay at that first job and never take that leap into the real career that they want or the real job, they will be miserable. They'll keep showing up to work, but they'll bitch and complain. They'll cry every morning. They'll bitch about the traffic, complain to everybody else about how their life sucks, but they'll still go to that job and they'll never take the step. How do I know this? I talk to people every day who are in this situation, and they'll keep giving me story and excuse instead of going and doing what they want to do. Because otherwise, you would work that job with extreme vigor and motivation because you know that's the stepping stone to get to the next one, like I said earlier. That's, again, an example of somebody living a life that they don't want to live and doing something they don't want to do, which is a lot of the shit when it comes to the holidays, man. But what happens is when you detach from that, right? Remember, two sides of the coin. There's consequences to that. When you make that shift, the world responds to you differently and everything in your paradigm shifts. Meaning, maybe you could be under the radar before, and now you're not under the radar. Now people question you. Now people talk shit to you. Now people, wait, why are you doing that? How come you don't do what everybody? Why do you have to be so weird, dude? Why do you have to do things your own way? Like I've been hearing for a long time. Why do you have to dress that way? Why do you have the tattoos? Why do you cuss? It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Don't worry about me. Go live your life, right? And I used to fight that back in the day. Like, I don't care. I understand it for what it is now because I can take the objective viewpoint and say, I am not in their line. Of course, they're going to point and say, why are you doing that? Of course, they're going to point. I'm in a different line. Everyone else is in the line. Everyone else is walking this way. I'm walking that way. They should say something. So why would I be mad or offended that they did? It's the same thing with this holiday stuff. People know. Let's give another example. Mother's Day, right? I love my mother. I'm sure she'll see this. I get her gifts and compliments and I give her shit all the time. But I don't, for Mother's Day, oh, I love my mom. It's like, dude, I tell my mom I love her every day or every other day when we talk. I get her gifts all the time. I don't have to follow the social obligation of getting her some shit for Mother's Day. And I probably never will. And even before when I did it, I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? That's something I express on a daily basis to her multiple times a week, right? I don't want to get her a gift when I'm expected to. I want to get her a gift when she doesn't expect it. That's better. That's better. Not when everybody else does it and everybody else posts and this and that. It could go for any other holiday too. Social obligation versus what you really want to do. And then if everybody comes out of the woodwork and talks shit to me, I don't care. Say what you want to say. I made my decision. And we can trickle this down to the most trivial things in life. So when you start shedding away from this, it's really cool, man. You start to move differently. You start to respond differently, right? And you don't feel like you have all these chains attached to you when you just want to live your life. You're a lot more free. You don't worry about like, oh man, how do you get rid of, the fear of judgment and criticism, and how do you stop caring about what people think? Well, this is one of the ways. There's many pieces to that puzzle, but this is one of them. You have to start walking the different path and exposing yourself to it more. Because the more you deviate from that, the more you expose yourself to the backlash, the criticism, and all this stuff. Because you're going to get it. And again, people think of this because we live in 2023. Going into 2020, they think this, but the social media backlash. I don't care if you're an influencer or not. I don't give a shit if you don't have social media. You're still going to experience this in your everyday life with the people around you. Are you willing to go through that, though? That's the question. I was. Because what I wanted on the other side, I knew was the life of my fucking dreams. And I wasn't going to stop for anybody. I don't care who. I don't care who you believe in, right? Let's say it was Jesus Christ. You could have came down and told me not to do it, but I wanted it. I would have said, I don't care what you have to say, bro. You, Buddha, whoever. I want this. I'm going after it. Try to stop me. Now, whether they would stop me or not is irrelevant, right? But that was just the mindset. So when it came to not caring about what people say, well, I had to get through that hurdle. I had to do it. I had to take the step and now expose myself to it. Like as an example, right? Let's look at the edge of that comfort zone for a lot of people here. All right? Let's take a minute. I'll give you an exercise. Let's say right now, at the edge of your comfort zone for a few people watching or a lot of people watching, right? Watching the recording doesn't matter. Let's say posting a belief that you have about something on Facebook and exposing that to your audience would make you deathly afraid because you know it's going to create a backlash. That's where your limit is. Because that's where you'll bite your tongue. And you want to continuously push that limit. So if that was you, then I would say if you really want to make strides in development and move forward and progress in this category, you need to make that post. And then do it. And deal with whatever happens after. You deal with the consequences of the action. There's an action, reaction, and you deal with it. Because if you don't, then you're limited by that. That's where you're limited. And the people like me that are free of that type of stuff will run circles around you in every category because we continuously seek out those limits and shatter them over and over, whether it's a mental one like that, right? Spiritual, emotional, financial. We just keep breaking that. And that can be, again, dumbed down to the most trivial thing. Like a lot of people won't humble themselves enough to learn from somebody and pay somebody to teach them how to be good. They won't be good students. That's another one. They refuse to do it. That's a limit. They'll never commit themselves to that. They'll never take the right steps. Like one thing that I bring up to people is everybody wants to, like, let's say be successful. Let's say financially successful, but they want to do it their way. I'm like, dude, if you knew how to do it your way, you'd already be successful. So why do you take the advice that I give or anybody gives and then try to twist it? Well, I want to do that. I don't want. Dude, it's not your way. You don't know how to do it. Shut up, listen, and apply. What is going on? How is that not normal? Seriously. It blows my fucking mind. But we can trace this to the holiday stuff too and social obligations and all that. It's just nuts. It's nuts. So whether it's the fear of judgment and criticism, these social obligations for the holiday or whatever it is, I mean, it's out of control. It's in every area of people's lives. Like, how many people won't even tell somebody no? How many people are afraid to tell the close people around them, stop talking to me that way, or I'd appreciate it if you stop doing that. I don't appreciate when you call me that or say that. That's normal. Do it. It's become abnormal to speak up or just say, please don't do that. Now that's attacking or being too aggressive or all the fucking buzzwords. I can't even keep up with all the buzzwords in today's society. Like, I don't even know half of them. That's why sometimes when I see certain words, I have to like ask my assistant, hey, what does that mean? Because like I don't really follow the whole internet culture shit. I'm like, what is that? And she explains it to me. I'm like, what the fuck? And people don't even know how to speak English anymore. So of course those people aren't going to live how they want to live and not fall prey to social obligations. Because I would say to somebody who is aware of social obligations and still falls prey to them, you're weak. You're not a strong individual. I wouldn't want you in my circle. Because if the peer group wanted you to do something, you would do it out of social obligation, even if it went against your core values, which is actually pathetic. You would willingly potentially harm yourself or other people under the guise of social obligation. It's crazy. Like when somebody was spiritual back in the day, a couple hundred years ago, they would be burned alive. If you participated in that, you were a piece of shit because it was social obligation. You didn't know anything about it, but because they said they're a witch and you don't know anything about witches or what's going on, yeah, burn them. What? You participated in that? You're crazy. You didn't say anything. You didn't raise your hand. You didn't say, wait, what's going on here? What's a witch? And like, you didn't question that at all. What is going on? Okay, then you're just another peon in line. You would do the same thing during the holidays. Then you probably put yourself in debt, gain weight, make the excuses, wait until January 1st, blah, blah, blah. Right? Same tune, different era. So we effectively, the message here is you have to take control of your life. Everything you're doing, do you really want to do it or not? Do you? How you wake up and what you do in the morning. What is it? Is it effective? Is it productive or not? And if it's not, why are you doing it? And why haven't you changed it? You see? The self-analysis. Right? Self-reflection. Self-awareness. Personal responsibility. All these things that are people are allergic to them now. It's insane. It really is. See, so when you hear the buzzwords like life by design, that's what it is. That's how you design your life. Okay, what did I do today? And you write it down. Wait, why am I fucking drinking coffee every morning? Okay, I need to stop that. Replace that with water. Okay, well, how come I didn't work out today? Okay, I need to work out and move and walk and run and jump and, lift or whatever it is that you want to do. Play basketball, right? I don't care. Man, at night, I'm watching Netflix 4 hours a night. Stop. Read a book 1 hour, right? Work on your side business, another. Like, we have to do these things. This is how you create life by design. Life by design is why my office location is within a 5 to 7 minute drive from my house, why I have time and location freedom, why I can do whatever the hell I want, right? That's life by design. Everything I've done over the last decade to put me in this position has allowed me to create that. I am the creator of my life and circumstances. And now I'm reaping the benefits of it. Period. But see, I've done this stuff. I've stopped and said, wait, I don't like my situation right now. I don't like going to the family parties. I don't like participating in the holiday shit because I really don't want to. And I started pushing and pulling myself away from it and then doing what I wanted to do. Because with that comes the basic premise that, again, assuming you're not harming anybody. I'm not harming anybody or breaking any laws of the land. I'm just living my life with conviction, with purpose. That's why people gravitate towards what I do. Because they can identify that. When somebody's free in ways that you're not, you can taste that shit and you can feel it. When you listen to them speak, when you observe them at an event, like I've spoken at thousands of events in front of thousands of people too and done all that shit, right? You just know, just like my mentors and coaches, same shit. It's like they have something that you want. They're free in an area that you're not. They have confidence, you don't. They're a great speaker, you're not, whatever, right? And it's like, you're just so drawn to it. And then it's like, okay, I'm on the quest to get that, because that's the next logical thing. You want it, boom, you do whatever it takes to get there, and you start putting everything into place to achieve that. And everything else doesn't exist. Case in point, like you guys know, back in the day in high school, college, even when I was fucking playing ball overseas, like all of us love playing video games. But I noticed, hey, I fucking play too much. Now that I'm going to change my life and be an entrepreneur, right? I'm going to stop touching fucking video games for years until I make X amount of money. My thing was, until I make $500,000 a year, I'm never going to touch a video game again. And I did it. I didn't touch shit for 5 or 6 years. And even now, if I do play, it's very rare. And it doesn't even hold my attention, really. A couple hours here and there, cool, right? But I made that commitment to myself because I knew that was an issue. And for many of you, it could be eating, it could be alcohol, it could be bullshitting, it could be Netflix, it could be porn, whatever the fuck it is. Change it. But it has to be important to you. Just like this. Do you want to not be miserable during the holidays? Like I named this? You don't have to be. You don't have to be. It's very easy to detach from that and keep your mind right. Now, there's many pieces to that puzzle. But it has to be a point of contention first. And you have to actually say, I want to do something about it. And then I'll deal with, and this is the key, what comes next? I'll deal with whatever comes with it. That decision is made. When you make that decision, ergo, you commit, you deal with whatever comes after that. It's not, well, it's harder than I thought, I'm going to quit. No. That doesn't work here. That doesn't work here. It's I commit, and I would write that down. And whatever comes with that decision, I deal with it. Period, point blank. And when you adopt that philosophy and you embody that, life starts to change. Because now you don't cower at the face of an obstacle or with resistance or with somebody not supporting you or somebody talking shit. It doesn't matter because you accept that you'll deal with whatever comes with it. That is the key that a lot of people don't tell you. It's not just that you commit or that you make the decision. It's that you already know and you agree up here that you will deal with whatever comes with it. Why? You signed up for it by making the decision and committing. That's how it works. Okay? That's it, guys. I have a bunch of stuff in the description that you can check out. Salute. It's Friday night. Have fun. Be productive. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.